Jess.
And today we're gonna do another in-pencil music ranking video. This time we're gonna do both of our favorite bands, Jars of Clay.
Yes.
Jess?
Yes, so we're doing something that countless YouTubers have done before, and what we mean by countless is apparently zero. So it's countless because it counts to nothing.
Right.
It doesn't seem like this is a big thing that people have done. We're going to do it because, hey, sure. Jars of Clay is not in the zeitgeist as much as they used to be, but hey, they still perform and they still are beloved by a lot of players, by a lot of listeners. And we're going to do a Jars of Clay album ranking. And you can see there's a lot of albums we're ranking here.
Yeah, so we picked all of the studio albums and we threw in some compilations, one live album, although we could have done more live albums because they have a ton. Some greatest hits here and there. So yeah.
Which live album did we get? Oh, Furthermore?
Stringtown and Furthermore, yeah.
Oh, so we did 2 live albums. Yeah, and there's actually some of the other live stuff is just albums, live versions of other albums they've already done.
Right.
So it's not as cool to do that because they're already done. But some of these albums, these live albums, have songs on them that aren't on other albums. So the word album way too many times. So let's get going because nobody's going to watch a 50-minute video on Jars of Clay Greatest Hits. Where is it a B, A, S, or C? I don't know. Okay. All
right. So the first release we have is their demo over here, Frail, and I'll let you put that where you think it belongs.
Oh boy. So when we first did this, I wasn't thinking about doing all the non-studio albums, so I didn't have a really good idea. But Frail is a good start. It's not a great. Most of the songs are done better on their debut and their second full-length albums.
Yeah.
But it's still good. I'm going to say B. Oh boy,
yep.
I can't see. The coloring on this album and the background are the same, so hard to tell
right,
if yeah, that looks good. Okay, so let's get into their first studio album. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Frail?
No, I think I listened to it a little while ago, earlier today, just to sort of remind myself what the demo versions of these songs sounded like, and it's not too bad. It is a little bit lower quality than the professional studio album, but the songwriting is awesome. The musicianship is great, and like you said, most of these songs wound up on other albums. The song 4-7, I think is that the name of the song. 4-7 is the only song that didn't wind up on an album, and that actually wound up on like the deluxe platinum edition of the Jars of Clay album. So
that is not true. It's on the original Jars of Clay album. It's just a hidden track.
Oh, yep. I had forgotten about that. Okay, well,
it's on track 10. It is about a minute or so after the first song ends. Track 10. There's like 3 different things on track 10. It's on the original album, which we'll get to next. But yeah, it's on there.
It's a hidden track. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
It's a hidden track.
Jars of Clay.
So the next album, Jars of Clay. What do you think, Adam, about Jars of Clay? What do you feel? Do you feel like this is a S+, S, D?
Well, I have to compare it to other albums later on in the discography that I feel like are S tier albums. I would probably put this. I mean, this is their debut album. It has their most popular single ever, Flood, on it, and it also has several other popular songs.
So, I thought you were about to put it halfway between S and A, and I was about to say, "Oh, don't do that, Adam. That's not a real place."
No. I think it's an S tier album.
Yeah, we can give it S tier. I would put it A, but I just dropped my. Never mind. But yeah, S tier is a good tier. I just dropped my headphones, so I'm back. Hopefully that didn't make a big sound. But I think S tier can work. It has a lot of great songs on it. I mean, like Flood.
Yeah. Love Song for a Savior. He.
And Yeah, I love it has a lot Like a Child,
Liquid.
and then it has great songs like Liquid. I think Boy on a String I really liked. Worlds Apart is just
it's fabulous.
Song. Yeah. And they do a live version that's much different from this version, it feels like. They're still both good. The thing that holds this album back is not the fact that they have their final song, track 10, which is a song called Blind, and then they have a hidden track called 4-7, but then they have like 18 minutes of barely audible talking on this. And this is the problem that people have with like albums like everybody, this is so cool, we're just going to put all this random junk in there. It's junk. Nobody cares about this stuff. And that's what I'm going to say. If you make an album, don't put a bunch of random junk. Don't put skits. Just put the music. That's all people care about.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Nobody cares about your banter. The banter would have gone great in a deluxe edition or greatest hits, where just for the core fans who would like that. That's my only problem with this album, is that is just a bunch of nonsense.
That's a very minor issue, I think.
Yeah, it's the very last. It's very end.
It's such a minor issue. I'd forgotten all about it.
Yeah, most people don't listen that far. It's kind of a waste. It's the Revolution 9 of the Jars of Clay. If any of you know, the Beatles did Revolution 9 on the White Album, and it's just a complete nonsense track that shouldn't ever made it on the album, but it did. And so every artist, I guess, has that one track that's like, oh, we shouldn't have put that track on that album. But anyway, let's go to Much Afraid.
All right, I'll let you do with Much Afraid.
So Much Afraid is a great, I like this album. It's probably not as good overall as the first album. In a lot of people's opinion, a lot of people didn't like it, said it was a complete different change in their way they did their music. As you'll learn if you listen to all of Jars of Clay discography, they do that a lot. They change up genres a lot. I'm going to put Jars of Clay's Much Afraid in an A tier. I think it's really good. Oh boy, can it fit? But It's not the best.
That's about where I'd put it too. I love pretty much every song on this album. Frail, Five Candles, Overjoyed, Crazy Times, Much Afraid, the title track. There's not really, I guess, Tea and Sympathy is a little bit boring, I guess, maybe, but the rest, I mean, I'd give it put it A tier too. Not as good as the first, but still very good.
Yes. So their next album we have on here is Stringtown, which is kind of a hidden album. I'm looking at the track list. I don't have my version of Stringtown with me, but it's mostly the same stuff as Much Afraid, but you've got the Coffee song, which is a classic old song. Mm-hmm. And I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best. Do you have a place for this, or do you want me to just put it?
I think with the I'll grab it real quick if you don't mind.
Okay.
I think with the live albums and stuff, I think we're just going to talk about it briefly and just put them over here where we can't really rank them, but because they're not really like albums. But,
it ascended into the heavens.
But I think as a compilation of live tracks, and the fact that as the name suggests, it's an album, it's a live album with live string orchestras. It's kind of a masterpiece in its own right, to be honest. So I would put it. Well, if I were to rank it,
rank it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Why do we have them on the list if we're not going to rank them?
8.5. All right. Actually, I want to put it at A, honestly.
Then put it at A. Why not? Everything's an A. You get a star. You get a star. We really like this band. It's really hard to rank a band we really like.
Yeah. It's hard to rank anything low, but there will be some low points later on.
Yeah.
We will. All right.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I so far, Adam's list, he put Jars of Clay as S tier. I put it as A tier. I have no S tier albums yet for them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about If I Left the Zoo?
If I Left the Zoo was the album that got me into Jars of Clay. I was not into Jars of Clay until this album, until Collide, the song Collide. So personally, this album has a lot of great, is very important to me.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, has some classic Goodbye Goodnight, but like Unforgetful You and Collide, I think are the biggest songs on this album. Oh, No One Loves Me Like You. I forgot about that. That's those are the classic, like I think the singles. There might have been another single in this. I don't remember.
Can't erase it.
Yeah, that's true. So these are really good songs. I think it's good. I don't think it's like, if I'm trying to be objective, which is impossible, but I'm going to try to be more objective than I normally am. I think it's more of an A tier. Like, it's good, which is not great.
I would say, like, in the grander discography of Jars of Clay, this is one of the less the less memorable albums for me. Even though I love a lot of the songs on it, I don't come back to it a lot unless I do it intentionally. So I would also rank it as an A tier album.
Yes.
Okay. How about the White Elephant Sessions?
So the White Elephant Sessions, I actually listen to a lot. I really like the version of Grace. Is it Grace that's on the White Elephant Sessions? I think it's Grace. I can't remember now. I don't have a track listing of the White Elephant Sessions in front of me. I should have brought all my albums to this recording, but I didn't. So, whoops. My bad. It's good, but again, it's demo versions and alternate versions, and it has some new songs on it too. I don't think it's a great album. It's not supposed to be. It's just some extra songs. I would put it in the B ranking. I don't know what you think.
I would probably say the same. But, I mean, it is not... I think it's meant to be a companion piece with If I Left the Zoo. So it's more like a second disc of bonus tracks. I don't remember the origin of it, to be honest. I don't know if it was like a Jars of Clay, like fan club exclusive. Like Stringtown was a fan club exclusive that then came out later on. I don't know if Jars of Clay was the same way or if it came about a different way. I don't remember. But,
I'm trying to see. I don't know.
Well, I guess
I don't actually know how it came. I got this years later. Kind of like Stringtown. Stringtown I actually got, and I think I gave you a version from Jars of Clay. Like, I went to an event, and one of the things I got to do was like buy some of their music that they had at their actual recording studio. And I bought Stringtown. I think for you. I think I bought a few albums for you. I can't remember.
I'm now the proud owner of both the White Elephant Sessions and Stringtown, and I actually have Jar of Gems as well. I
think I have this. I think I have all these. Yeah, I have Jar of Gems. I may not have the greatest hits. I don't remember if I have greatest hits.
Jar of Gems is basically a lot of the Tweed Horse sessions on the second disc, the same that were on the White Elephant Sessions, and then the Unforgetful You remix, and then the first disc is just basically a greatest hits compilation album. So it's safe to just throw that right there.
Yeah, so we're going to downplay greatest hits probably a lot because...
Yeah, actually, we'll just put it right here just as a placeholder, more or less.
Yeah, the greatest hits are greatest hits. They're great. They have, all the songs are great, but as an album in itself, there's no coherentness to it. It's just a bunch of
greatest hits.
Yeah, it's a thing of the past. You really don't have to do greatest hits anymore because you can just buy the singles.
Yeah,
you want to buy.
Unless you're Eminem, then you put a whole ass double disc. But yeah. So the 11th Hour.
The 11th Hour was I really liked. This was the first album of theirs that I went to the store back in the day when you go to the store to buy CDs. Mm-hmm. But you didn't go at midnight. I don't know if people ever did that. Probably for like boy band stuff, I guess. But this was the first album I bought when it came out because I got my version of If I Left the Zoo was actually my sister's, and she just let me keep it because I had it for several years, and she's like, fine, just keep it. So this was the first one I got. It's a really great album. It has some really great songs. It also has some songs that don't really fit. It feels like I
Like
never understood Whatever She Wants. I never understood how that fits with the rest of the album.
Okay.
And Revolution, it's a great song. I don't get how it fits with the rest of the album. The rest of the album seems to be more solemn.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. Like with Fly and Something Beautiful, Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's These Ordinary Days. They're all more solemn and retrospective, or some of them are about death.
Right.
And then you have Revolution and Whatever She Wants, and I'm not really sure. And this is the Jars of Clay thing. I guess this is every band. They always have that one song on their album, and you're like, that doesn't really fit. And Jars of Clay has a few albums of theirs that I really like their albums, but there's just this one song that I'm like, where'd that come from? And this is the first time. Whatever She Wants makes no sense to me, but it's fine. What do you think for this album?
If I'm comparing it to Much Afraid and If I Left the Zoo and Jars of Clay, I don't know. Some of my favorite Jars of Clay songs are on this album, like Silence and Fly. But then some of the other ones aren't as memorable. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we say like how significant some of the songs on this album are to me, this might be number 1 or 2 in the most significant, because Something Beautiful and Silence and These Ordinary Days, all 3 of those songs, seriously important. That was a long pause. Seriously important of my teens and 20s.
Yeah.
But a lot of these songs were skips.
Yeah. I hate to make it lower.
I think B's fine. B is still good.
Yeah.
This is our opinion. If you have a different opinion, put out a reaction video like you used to be able to on YouTube.
Or just leave a comment and promote it.
Yeah, tell us your ranking. And you don't have to rank all the extra songs. You can just go with the albums, or you can just go with the extra stuff. Next is Who We Are Instead.
Yep. What do you think about Who We Are Instead?
So Who We Are Instead, to me, is a really, this is my opinion, is really solid from start to finish.
Oh, hold on. Before we do that, I actually got the chronologically speaking, Furthermore came before Who We Are Instead. So you want to talk about Furthermore first? Yeah.
Oh, man. I did not know that.
Just barely.
Okay, Furthermore. So Furthermore is a greatest hits almost.
Kind of, but there were some new songs on here.
Yeah, there are like 2 new songs on here.
The Valley song.
The Valley song and... No, there's only one. The Valley song is the only new song on it. Oh, Dig.
Yeah, Dig, but that was a cover.
Yeah, that's true. It's okay. I would say it's a... Bleh,
Let's
it's
just
fine.
put it there. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. It's a... But okay, back to...
Who We Are Instead.
Who We Are Instead. I've already talked about my piece with what I don't like about the Valley song. The Valley song uses something that's a slur now, and at the time was kind of known as a slur. And I think it was very inappropriate, and I don't like it, so that's always my problem with Furthermore.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it. I realized that we said that in the podcast and not on a YouTube video, so I went ahead and said it. So that's my problem with Furthermore. But Who We Are Instead. I think it's solid from beginning to end. I don't think necessarily there are any songs, except for Jealous Kind. Jealous Kind pops hard. I think it's just such a great one, but I don't think any of the other songs are like big songs. I just think it's a very solid, it's their most solid up to this point album from beginning to end. Yeah, cohesive. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Even with the covers they use, I think they put them in a great place. And I really like this album. It's more very Americana type, which is probably my favorite music genre. And this album may have really helped push me into that music genre because of its dancing around that genre. So I think it's an A tier. I don't think it's S tier because I saved my S tiers for, we'll see in the future.
Okay. All right. I actually agree. Again, just like 11th Hour, some of my favorite Jars of Clay songs come from this album. I've always loved Lonely People, which is, again, a cover.
Yeah.
But Show You Love, Jealous Kind, Sunny Days. Sunny Days just, it's a very bright and excellent opener.
Well, you got to think from their last studio album was The 11th Hour, which was the name, The 11th Hour, tells you that this is not a happy time. So,
right.
And then it kicks into Who We Are Instead, which starts off with Sunny Days. So it's like, oh, we've got now the depression of The 11th Hour, which I think there was some, I don't know the history. I think there were some personal things that probably led to the sadness of The 11th Hour that were going on.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I know from some of the songs are about real events.
Yeah.
So you have to ask them about that. But okay, what's next?
Redemption songs.
It's okay.
It's hymns.
It's hymns.
Also,
it was that
also very Americana.
Yeah, that's true. They stay with the same idea because they're using hymns, which hymns is kind of where Americana comes from in a lot of ways, /country. They come out of this religious texts, religious songs. I like some of these. I like the way they did these songs. It's not my favorite album. I never listened to this album.
I have to rank it below The 11th Hour, so
yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the C tier.
Yeah.
But there are some really, like, God Will Lift Up Your Head is a great original song. Their version of it as well, With My Soul and They'll Know We're Christians by Our Love, are both great. They did a version of I'll Fly Away, which I was not a big fan of from this album. They did a different version on a Wow Worship CD a few years earlier, which was a way better version of I'll Fly Away. So that detracts, because I know there was a better version out there, you know what I mean? That they already did, so I don't know why, So, redemption songs. iTunes Originals. What do you know about iTunes Originals?
I bought it. I burned it to a disc back in the day because that was the only way you make sure you don't lose all your iTunes music. I don't remember much about it. It's just alternate versions of songs from what I remember.
Some alternate versions. They also had like iTunes Originals with anybody. They would have like clips of like them talking about different things in their life that affected the songs and blah blah.
That's right. Sometimes when I'm playing like a random mix of my Jars music, that will just randomly pop up, them talking about one of their albums, and I'm like, what's going on here? I just want music.
It does give some, like if you listen to it as it's supposed to be, it does give some insight into the origins of the songs and some facts about the band or whatever. So it's good for what it is.
The problem with albums sometimes is the random or the shuffle really messes with how the album was supposed to be.
Right.
But anyway, on to the next one.
Good Monsters.
So Good Monsters. I
put it where you think, because I have my own opinion. Put it where you think.
Okay, let me look at the track listing. So Good Monsters is the second one that has a song that does not make any sense to me, and that is Mirrors and Smoke. And however, so personally, Good Monsters came out when I was in divinity school, getting a master's in divinity, and a lot of the songs about this, there are some things like "Oh My God," "Light Gives Heat," that really get into some like serious theological conundrums, and it was very important to me at the time. So how it hits was great. As an album by itself, I don't know. That's tough. I don't think it doesn't flow together well. It's not like consistent as I think some of their other albums, in my opinion. It's still good. I still like a lot of the songs, like Dead Man Work. Oh My God is probably maybe their best, most hard-hitting song they've ever recorded, and probably would not get normal airplay on your happy-go-lucky Christian station. Right. Because it ain't a happy-go-lucky Christian song, but it's a very important one. I don't know. What do you think, Adam? I have trouble with this. I would not S tier it, but I would not C tier it.
I would put this in about the same category as the 11th Hour for me because Work, Dead Man, All My Tears, There Is a River, Good Monsters, Oh My God. Yeah, those are the songs that resonate with me the most and that I remember the most out of these. And then some of the other ones, again, just like some of the songs on 11th Hour, I've kind of forgotten about, and I only come back to them whenever I intend to listen to this album all the way through. So I would put it right there in the B tier.
Yes.
What do you think? How do you feel about that?
That sounds great. It also gives us a nice evenness. I like the even.
Well, we're about to put just the iTunes or the Central Jars of Clay compilation, just throw it right there.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just, double disc compilation album. It's a good sampler for if you are new to Jars of Clay. It's a good.
Yes, but as an album in itself, it's nothing special. Save for greatest hits. Great albums if you just need to get an idea of the differences of Jars of Clay, but you're not going to get a great idea of how an album, Jars of Clay album goes.
Yeah, but the Greatest Hits album did have Love Is a Protest, which is an amazing Jars of Clay song.
It's true.
Yeah.
I always forget how because I have them all, I've literally burned them all onto my iTunes, and that's where I still listen to them because, collecting songs for years, and some of them are online only that I found that I've gotten that I forget where these come from. I'm like, because I have my physical CD collections somewhere else than normally where I am.
So what about Christmas songs?
It's a good Christmas album. This is the only version of Wonderful Christmas Time that I like. Wonderful Christmas Time is that notorious Paul McCartney Christmas song that everybody hates for some reason, but also everybody loves to listen to. And I really like it. Their version of it, Jars of Clay version of it. It's good. It's a good Christmas album. I love some of their versions of songs. It has what is it? Hold on. Hibernation Day is really fun. I think that's one of their original ones. And then they have some really good covers. So it's a good Christmas album, but a good Christmas album is rarely a good album. It's just a good Christmas album.
Yeah, I think it's a B tier.
Yeah. I'll give it that for just Wonderful Christmas Time.
I'll give it that for I like their version of Love Came Down at Christmas.
Oh yes, that is really good.
And the only reason that I wouldn't rank it higher is because their version of Drummer Boy on here is not as good as their actual Drummer Boy single, which is masterpiece.
And the way I love because I go to their Christmas, I've gone to their Christmas show several times. That's about the only time they do regular shows anymore these days. But they do Drummer Boy really fun. I love how they do Drummer Boy live.
Nice. I still have yet to experience that, but
you've got to come sometime or watch it online. It's
that's true. I could do that.
It's this weekend. It's actually the December 3rd. So if we get this out before December 3rd, we'll leave a link of how you can watch it online from anywhere. They have a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. show. December 3rd, 2022, I should say.
Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw The Long Fall Back to Earth in its rightful place. And if you have issues with this, please let me know.
So, The Long Fall Back to Earth, we did not put the deluxe edition on here.
Well, it's representative of all that is included in Long Fall. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so The Long Fall Back to Earth is, to me, and I think Adam and we did a podcast on this, and I think we both agreed on this. It's great. To me, it's the best Jars of Clay album, start to finish. There's not a single song on here I don't like.
Yeah.
Like Boys Lesson 1. I have a daughter, but the song itself I think they said the reason they called it Boys was because at the time they only had boys. Nobody had daughters. I think some of them have daughters, or one of them has a daughter now. And so it's still such a good song for a kid. So that's cool from a new perspective in the past few years, how this album hits me differently. But Safe to Land and Scenic Route are two of my favorite songs to listen to.
Yeah.
What do you say? What are the songs you like?
I mean, all of them, but
yeah.
Boys doesn't have the same meaning for me because I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
But Headphones is
Oh yes.
Very introspective. Closer is awesome. Two Hands was like the Christian radio hit off of this
Yeah.
one. So, yeah, the whole album, like I said, you could listen to this thing front to back without any skips easily and not be bored. So,
Yeah.
this is one of those albums. This to me, there's a very few albums that from any artist that I can just throw in at any point in time and listen to it front to back. It's this, probably a couple of Blink-182 and Angels and Airwaves albums. A Collision by David Crowder Band, and maybe the Marshall Mathers LP are the only albums I can throw in and just do front to back. So this is an exclusive place for me. So yeah,
I'm trying to think what other. I think I could do with Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
If we're not talking about, I mean, Sgt. Pepper in a way is like a concept album, but in a way it's not. It's a very strange version of that. So. But like there are very few non-concept albums. Like concept albums, I get the idea. Like The Wall, I can listen to, or Dark Side of the Moon. It has a theme, but I generally don't listen to them all the way through. But this one is a great one to listen all the way through. Even if you have the deluxe version, where you have like Save My Soul, Caught Escape, Love Won't Let Us, I think is on the deluxe version. I'm looking at this. This is not showing me the deluxe version, but I think it's on there. And a few other songs. It's still good. Yep. You can just listen to it from beginning to end, and you're like, even with the B tier type stuff they threw on the deluxe version, they are not B tier songs.
The remixes and whatnot, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we like that album.
So how about The Shelter?
The Shelter is an album.
It is. What are your thoughts on the album?
I forgot about this. I never bought this album. Oh. I was big into Jars of Clay. Okay, so I was super big into Jars of Clay even when this album came out, and even I thought, I don't care. And so I don't have like strong opinions on this album. It has a bunch of Christian music artists on it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I never really got into this album. I hate to put it at C, but I'm gonna put it at C. Well,
we got a good mix. I think we're almost got a perfect angle of like stair steps going on here. No D tiers yet, so hey, how do you like them apples? What is this?
This was the I'll make it bigger. Gather and Build.
Oh yes.
This was like the Habitat for Humanity. Or was it Habitat? It was one of the fundraiser it may have been for Blood Water actually.
Yeah, it seems like Blood Water would be it, but I don't actually know.
But they put it out as a free album EP type thing on Noise Trade, I think, at one point. It's basically just a compilation album of songs. But
I'm trying to
just to acknowledge it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I don't remember anything about this album, but I think I got it. But I can't tell you anything about it.
Well, let's move on to Inland, shall we?
Yes. So Inland, to me, is a solid beginning to end album. It's my other S tier album. Go figure that my two S tier. I've been a fan of Jars of Clay since '99, and my two S tier albums are literally their most recent full length solo type albums. Like The Shelter, okay, it's kind of an album, full length album, but just their full length solo where it's just them doing the thing. So yeah, I think they've gotten better over time.
What do you think are some highlights from Inland?
So Inland, I think Inland is a great song. I love hearing this song live. They haven't performed it in the last few years that I've gone to see them, but Fall Asleep is just beautiful. Pennsylvania is just, I love Pennsylvania. And Loneliness and Alcohol is a great song to hear live. I know this from the live. We went to see their quote-unquote album release show on this, didn't we?
Yeah. What was it, at Third and Lindsley, I believe?
Yeah, it was at Third and Lindsley. They did an album release show the week that it came out, like a public album release show.
Yeah. And they had Peter Fuller there. And that was odd, but it was nice.
It was like, wait, who? I didn't know who the opening. I didn't realize that was going to happen, but it was a very fun event. And this was their last true new album
so far.
Yeah,
we've had.
But it's a great album. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I would like to hear more. But
I would love a new album.
how about Inlandia, which was the remix album for Inland?
I got it. I don't really listen to it. I don't think it's not my favorite because I really like Inland so much that it's cool that they did it. I love when they do remixes because they can be really good, but most of the time I find remixes to be just interesting.
Well, I'm gonna put it down here because I think the remixes are really good. No, maybe not D. I'll put it in C.
I was like, is he gonna do it?
All right, 20. They re-recorded like a ton of their old songs for 20. Like every song on here is re-recorded brand new.
Yeah. So because it's brand new recordings, I really like all of them except for God Will Lift Your Head. I like the original version of God Will Lift Your Head.
Yeah.
And this version's different, but this is the live version they do. Kind of like it. I really think this is the best greatest hits. The best way you could do a greatest hits album is it's just all new stuff.
Yeah. I would agree.
So, I like it.
And then finally,
I love this album. It's not a full-length album. That's the big thing. It's only like 6 or 7 songs. I can't remember how many songs it is. And I love Shell as well.
Right.
And I think it's really fun. I think it's really good. It's a Christmas thing. It has some like newer songs. Like they aren't like all old songs. And I prefer to listen to this album than I do to listen to their other Christmas album.
Oh, so where would you put it?
It's probably still be B because it's just it's an EP.
Just
but you could A tier it, but I don't want to put it above the 11th Hour.
Oh, or
Good Monsters.
Good Monsters, yeah.
If we're gonna put 11th Hour and Good Monsters in B tier, I'm not gonna put a Christmas album above that.
I think perhaps more accurately, we could safely do like.
Yeah, we're gonna half mark. We're gonna do the thing we said we're not gonna do, and we're gonna do it.
Oops.
What did you do? We changed the game,
and
we're considering the 11th Hour and Good Monsters are now officially A- tier
or B plus
or B plus.
Depending on how you're
Same difference.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking GPA, then it's a very big difference.
All right, and if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just put that a little higher.
Wait, so it went from D tier to C plus?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like D tier to begin with. It was just I was putting it down there because I don't know. It's fine. It's C plus.
Instead of D, we need to say I don't know. It's not a normal album. That should be the D tiers. I don't know. I don't know where to put this.
Well, if you want, wait. We could do that actually. We could just do this. Right?
What are we doing?
Well, none of these are normal albums, right? So they all go down here, except for Redemption songs. So really,
Adam's doing some fun stuff in the Shelter.
More accurately, the Shelter.
Technically, the Shelter would go there.
So I would put Shelter here.
We are changing the game.
Yep, there. That is our official tier list of Jars of Clay albums and compilations and everything else.
Change D to compilations. Why are we going to rank this? Just change the. Oh wait, I can do that, can't I?
No, we can't.
I don't know.
That's not text.
Oh, it's you didn't do a text. It's a picture. Hold on. Can I add a text here? Oh, whoops. Hold on.
Let's not go PowerPoint.
My bad.
Let's not go do that.
Okay.
Let's just leave it how it is. We understand.
Yeah. So that's our Jars of Clay ranking. Here, let's make these look connected.
The scrutinizer over here.
Oh boy, what am I doing here? This is why you don't do this in PowerPoint. So yes, this is our Jars of Clay ranking. What's your number 1 album, Adam?
Oh, The Long Fall Back to Earth.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your number 1 song?
My number 1 Jars of Clay song? I'd probably go with Fly, to be honest. Or Five Candles, I'm not sure. But
I would go with Something Beautiful or Pennsylvania, I think.
I do like After the Fight, so it's really hard. When you love a band so much, it's really hard to make a decision on this kind of question.
Yeah. just by saying that, I had to cut out all of the long fall back to earth because I'm like, it could be safe to land, it could be headphones, it could be weapons. It's
It could
like
be
no,
two
no.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be any of that album. It could, my goodness, it could be Save My Soul.
I know that it's not Flood.
No. That's like a almost a joke now.
It's a noob. It's a noob song.
I
If you only
did
know
go
Jars
to.
of Clay by Flood, then you're a noob.
Well, yeah, no, there is kind of almost a joke where like I went to a show of theirs and they were asking for like, what do you want to hear? And they played like an album, and they're like, do you want to hear any other songs? And so people were calling out songs they wanted to hear. And someone called out Flood, and there was just kind of the audience and the band were all just kind of looking at each other like, really? It's like, okay, we'll do it. But it was like, really?
Yeah.
They weren't expecting it because it was more intimate setting, so you wouldn't expect that. There's just kind of, I feel like there's like a joke in there that nobody likes Flood anymore.
I mean, I don't think it's anybody that doesn't like Flood. I think that people are just tired of Flood.
Yeah, it's the one that got them famous. Yes, it's not at all anywhere near their best song, but that's true with so many bands that their most famous song is never their best song. It's just the one that hit the right chord progression or chorus or whatever that worked.
But the new version of Flood, New Rain, is way better than the original. But it's kind of hard to find. I think it's it only came out on an EP before the Long Fall came out. So
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it.
Yes.
That's almost an hour of Jars of Clay. So
Oh my goodness, that was an accident. Oh well.
let's stop. And if you're still with us, thank you for watching. Leave your favorite Jars of Clay songs or albums in the comments, and
Yes.
we'll respond. And and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's fight in the comments over after the fight. No, we fight in the comments, and then after the fight is over. Wait, no, I won't do it. That was
No,
dumb.
let's not
I'm
do
just
that.
gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you.